What's up? How's it going, everybody? I think we're live now. Dude, I was just running in here. I was almost a couple seconds late. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm kind of prepared. Kind of prepared, kind of not. I literally just got down scarfing down some chicken. Got some notes, handy dandy notes for tonight's topic, which is, are you trying to change too much at once? We're gonna talk about it. I gotta get this right though, hold on. Anyway, welcome. The chairman's here, Nathan's here. What's up, Nathan? On time, can you believe that? Welcome. My wife is watching some show out there, dude. So if for some reason the audio gets unsynced, I'm blaming her. I'm blaming her tonight. But yeah, we'll give people a couple seconds to chime in here. And then I gotta move this one direction or the other. You know, if I get the camera right, right, that little Star Wars background behind me, if I get it just right there, that puts the total number of people in the live stream right on a black line where I can see it. So right there, it says there's 7 of you online. So hey, Banjo, what's up? JC, how you doing? Sharon, good to see you. Sharon, when's your surgery? I know it's coming up. I've got some good notes tonight, guys, but I can't really read and I didn't have time. I kind of like put all my thoughts down, but I didn't have time to really go through them. You know what I mean? Oregon girl, welcome to the live stream. Appreciate you being here. For the first couple of minutes, we just like to say our hellos, you know, maybe check in, tell us where you're from. You know, I'm from Southern Utah. It was 104. I tried to go on a little walk today, and I ran home and got on the walking pad. So if you saw my short, which I don't know if you did or not, but if you did, I made a little accountability short, and I literally I did finish the walk. I only made it about like 8 minutes outside. It was really quite warm. Pamela, I know Adam's from Salt Lake City, or actually, well, he's up there. He's from up north. Oh, you're in Denver tonight, Adam. You're traveling. All right. Bellflower, is that Washington? Yeah, dude, 104 is too hot, man. I was literally. Yesterday it was like 95, but it was kind of cloudy. It was humid because it was a little bit cloudy and it had rained a little bit that morning. And oh, that's right, God, Bellflower, California. Okay, I gotta remember that. But yeah, dude, I remember. Anyway, yeah, yesterday was a little bit warmer, so I went outside and I actually did my walk outside, and it felt so good. And it was warm. It was definitely hot, but it wasn't like unbearable. Today I went out there. There was like no clouds. It was just like coming down. It was just like the sun just beating on you, and I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. Hey, does this look better with this dumb little light on, or just like this? Probably a little bit. Man, I don't know how to use crap. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. All right, we're gonna get going here. For those of you who watched the replay, sorry, the first 5 minutes is kind of boring. Yeah. Shameless plug number 1. We only do this a couple times a night. If you want to say thank you to me for the channel, for the information, for the motivation, for my story, for sharing, you can donate to the channel in a super chat on these live streams. I've had several of you donate. I really appreciate it. I have not even cashed it out yet. I'm waiting to hit a certain benchmark before I cash out my first one. So we're getting close, and then I'm going to actually purchase a couple of pieces of equipment, so all the money is just going back into the channel. So anyway, there it is. If you want to leave me a tip or say thanks, you can do that in a super. All right. It's 7:06. We're going to get going here. So tonight's topic, are you trying to change too much at once? Now, a lot of you are doing some sort of a transformation, right? You're working on yourself. Some of you are already there. Some of you have been doing this for quite a while. Some of you have already lost a pretty good, incredible amount of weight. And some of you are just like me, just getting started, or I'd just say in the first phase of your journey. And I've noticed something, and I've talked about this in a video before, but I'm kind of an all or nothing mentality. Usually, you know, I kind of put it all together, and I come up with a great master plan, and then I freaking start executing and going. And I've had good success, you know, won a weight loss challenge back in 08, you know, lost a bunch of weight, lost 80 pounds on keto. You know, I've been up and down on carnivore, 50 pounds several times. I mean, my problem is though, is I go all in and then it starts to feel overwhelming and it's real easy to get off, and then you get off track and then boom, the weight comes back on big time. James from Scotland, welcome. I know it's late your time. So this time around, I'm trying a little bit different approach. And I noticed one thing, you know, it's very easy to kind of feel like you bit off more than you can chew, you know? And so I don't know how you are with goal setting, but I took some notes, and this kind of hit, and I looked up a couple articles, had a little discussion with chat, came up with some notes. I'm going to cheat. So in the first one though, let me just ask you something to think about. When you first start, what do you try and fix first? I know for me, I probably try and fix my weight first. Weight loss is kind of number one. You know, there's different phases along the journey. Right now, I think I'm in fat loss mode. I'm trying to build good habits, trying to be consistent, and focus on just fat loss, weight loss, and getting those habits dialed in. And a lot of us, I think, we overload the plan. We overload the plan in the beginning. So, you know, I'm going to go to the shortcut notes. These ones, boom, they're gone. They're too hard to glance down and read. So there's something about when you decide to get going, you know, you get a fresh start, and that fresh start gives you energy. Like, okay, I'm starting on Monday, right? Or it's New Year's Day, and I'm starting on New Year's Day. I'm going to set these goals. I'm going to tackle it all. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to change my diet. I'm going to stop drinking Coke. I'm going to stop drinking coffee. I'm going to stop swearing. I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to, you know, whatever it is that you do, right? We come up with these big, grandiose plans because having a big, large plan gives you energy at first, because it sounds really great, you know? And it's a good exercise to goal set, to write down all the things you'd like to accomplish, right? But sometimes we create such a big plan that, you know, and it's for our most motivated self. It's like the perfect plan for that person that we are when we just kind of, you know, you find that zone and you're just dialed in, and everything seems easy. Right? And then it's like, you can do 10 different things at once. You can try and change your life in 10 different ways at once. But the problem is finding that zone every day on a day-to-day basis becomes kind of tough. So a complicated plan, I'm just going to read some of these. I can feel serious, even when it's harder to repeat. So basically you're, you know, a simple plan sometimes feels like I'm not doing enough. Yesterday, I made a video where I talked about 30 minutes of walking. Is it enough? Right? Because it sounds so stupid. It sounds so easy. Well, I'm going to go on a 30-minute walk. And, you know, and there's all sorts of debate. I love the comment section because, you know, some people are like, I'm firmly with the group of people that say, hey, you know, 3 months ago, you were sitting on your fat butt on the couch doing nothing. So 30 minutes of walking is a great place to start, right? Some movement is better than no movement. I also believe that walking is healthy for you. It helps clear your head. It gives you mental clarity, but it's simple, right? You're not getting a good cardio workout. You're not getting into, fat burning zones and things like that as if you were like on a treadmill or an elliptical or something where you're pushing yourself more, right? But the point is, hold on. Let me just get rid of some people. Anyway, I have to moderate myself tonight, so, people are going to get away with saying some stupid shiz. Anyway, so a simple plan can feel like you're not being serious enough. A complicated plan makes you feel good because you're going, oh man, I'm serious this time. I'm going to do this, and this. And I'm totally guilty of that. I've done that, right? I've done it. Even this time around, probably. I know, Nate. How do I do that? Oh, boom. Hold on. Nate, I'm hooking you up. All right, Nate, you're a moderator. You don't have to kick people or whatever if they just say something kind of stupid. But if they say something really stupid or if it's offensive or if they just call me ugly and fat and, they're out of here. They're out of here. So the bottom line is, for you, what usually falls apart first? Because when you have too big of a plan, I know for me, the excuses are what creeps in for me. So it's, if I'm focusing on diet, exercise, or and exercise can take on many forms. Usually what I prefer to do is like 3 days of weight training, 3 days of cardio. Now this time I have hurt my shoulder. So Stairway to Heaven channel's about weight loss, man. If you're fat, which you may be, and you want to lose some weight, this is a place for you. I'm sharing my journey, trying to lose 110 pounds. If that's not of interest to you, bye-bye. So, doing enough versus doing everything. And I think this is a big one. This is a big one for me. So, sometimes when I make the plan too big, too complicated, it's very easy to try to be doing it all. And then when something starts falling off, you're carrying around a plate full of meatballs, right? Like you're at a buffet or something. Yeah, and meatballs start falling off the plate. You start focusing on trying to collect all the stuff, right? And then it makes it very easy to just lose focus. But when the plan is simple and you've got 2 or 3 meatballs on the plate, it's easier to balance. It's easier just to keep in control of everything. So I think sometimes, like for me right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to go back and I'm trying to do enough. So I'm trying to do enough that it matters, enough that it where I see progress, but not so much that it overwhelms me or that it derails me if something starts to go wrong. Because life happens. That's the one thing. Life happens for everybody, right? Life happens for every single one of us. And so you're going to travel. You're going to have those times where you're in a situation. I mean, last Sunday, we were driving home from Provo, northern Utah area, and, there was a flood. There was flash floods that actually went over the freeway. We had to be diverted in traffic for an hour and a half. Now, good thing it was a decent time of day or whatever. I wasn't hungry, so it's not like I, ate anything I wasn't supposed to or anything. But the point is it's like, life happens. Obstacles get in the way. And so if the plan is too complicated, it becomes easy to get derailed, right? Thank you, Stairway to Heaven. We're gonna make it. Stick around if you want to join us. There's a lot of people who are trying to make good changes in their life right now. So, So one of the goals right now is to basically rebuild trust by keeping clear promises. So you'll notice a couple of weeks ago I kind of reset because I'm having trouble lifting the weights because of some pains. I created a couple of mobility workouts that were easy. I thought they were 30-minute workouts. They're going to give me some cardio, going to give me some mobility, going to give me some strength training, and even those are hurting the shoulder. Even trying to trying to sit in a push-up position is painful. It's painful. So I decided to take another layer, another step back, and I dialed it down into 3 simple things. And I talk about those practically every day. 1 was to show up for the weekly weigh-in. 2 was to intermittent fast Monday through Friday. And 3 was to, I can never remember all 3. Why can I never remember all 3 at the same time? What is wrong with my brain? Come on, what's the 3rd one, guys? You know it. Oh, my land. It's something so easy, too. Oh, 30 minutes of movement. That's what we talked about today. Oh, my gosh. My brain. Okay, so I scale. Maybe I need to scale it back down to 2. Maybe I'll remember those. No, but I'm doing good ever since I made that commitment. Those are all simple. This light is like shining off my teeth. Hey, hello there. Looks like I got butter smile. A little bit of butter. Anyway, so I'm trying to keep it simple because I'm trying to build a pattern of trust, because I know for me personally, I'm not trying to go into therapy mode on you guys, but with weight loss, especially those of us who yo-yo up and down, up and down, up and down, what you've done is you've created a pattern of lying to yourself. You create a big plan and you say, I'm going to do it. And then for some reason, whatever, you get off that plan and then you fail, or you get derailed enough that you start going back into old patterns, old habits, and you put weight back on. So that teaches your brain basically that, hey, when I claim I'm going to do something, I'm probably not going to do it. So what I'm trying to do now, that's why the channel is about showing up daily. That's why I'm doing YouTube every day. That's why I have the simple goal to walk 30 minutes a day, the simple goal to intermittent fast Monday through Friday, because I'm at work. That's easy. It's convenient for me. I'm not going to hide from the scale or the weigh-ins. That's why I'm doing the weekly weigh-in again. Because those are the things that, right, if I start hiding from the scale, right, a week goes by, then you maybe eat a little bit crappy, another week goes by, and you're going, well, I know I probably gained a couple pounds, so I'm not going to weigh in this week. Next thing you know, it's a month, right? You gain 10 pounds, you gain 2 months go by, you gain 20, 30, 40, right? And all of a sudden now you're like, oh my gosh, I'm like starting over again. And your subconscious says, well, there you go again. You just lied to yourself. It's the same pattern over and over and over. So, so starting small is not the same as letting yourself off the hook, right? Starting small is still a commitment. Starting small is still creating patterns of success. Rick, welcome, dude. Starting small is still creating positive action items and hitting those, and ultimately you're creating a pattern of being honest with yourself and following through on the things that you promise yourself. Does that make sense? If it makes sense, give it a thumbs up. We're moving on. Now, the question is, when do you add more? Because it's okay to start small, but I think you add more after the current habits are repeatable. So I'm not going to stay with those 3 things forever. I may only stay with them for a couple of weeks, and then I'm going to probably add something else. Or I may, I'm probably going to start building in some of my strength training stuff again. Because guess what? My shoulder hurts, but my legs don't hurt. I can still do squats. I can still do calf ups. I can still do some of the stuff I was already doing. I just made the choice to kind of scale back and say, okay, I'm going to focus on these things again until I can get it right and be consistent with it. And then we'll add something else, and then add something else, and then add something else, right? That makes sense? So we're adding one layer at a time, right? A longer walk, maybe some mobility, maybe some strength, maybe tighter food choices, I've loosened up on my diet a little bit too. They're not like crappy, but I mean, when I started, I was pretty solid on being in ketosis. I'm doing a ketogenic diet. I still like that. It works for me. But I haven't even checked my blood for a little while to check to see if I'm in ketosis because I've just given myself a little more leeway. I mean, I could eat something, I don't even know, I'm trying to think of something. I could eat like yogurt, like Greek yogurt or something, and it could throw me out of ketosis. I mean, literally. I mean, if I eat too much fruit, it can throw me out. So right now, I'm not talking like Twinkies and, bowls of Captain Crunch or bags of Doritos or things like that right now. I'm just talking about, but I'm a little bit more flexible on my whole foods. Now, I'm not quite doing like rice and baked potatoes and, starchy things like that because that's just not good for me and my type 2 diabetes. But I'm giving myself a little bit of flexibility, and then I'll probably tighten it up in the next week or so, and I'll say, okay, I really want to get back into ketosis again. So you have seen me do a 7-day carnivore reset too. I've talked about this a million times, but I like the carnivore diet. I like steak. I like meat. I like all that stuff, but it's too restrictive for me to commit to going, oh, this is how I'm going to eat the rest of my life. Like, I just know that I'm probably not. So I'm not going to set myself up for failure, but I do like it, and I will use it as a tool in my toolbox to basically say, okay, I've been eating kind of crappy. I kind of need to reset, and I'll do like a 7-day of like, ribeyes and chicken, or something like that. And that just kind of helps me get back laser focused, and then I can ease in with some avocado and some vegetables and go back more to keto. So you'll see me do things like that. I think it's important just to kind of constantly course correct and reevaluate. I learned this thing. I went to this in my story time with dude. You'll hear me talk about different scouting things. I was in the Boy Scouts of America when I was young, and as an adult, I was a scout leader for many years. I worked with young men and young boys in those age groups, from usually about 11 to 18, and took them on a lot of adventures, a lot of different things. And the Boy Scouts have a couple really, really good leadership trainings. One of them is called the Wood Badge. And I went to a Wood Badge training. Now, if you remove all of the goofy scouting stuff out of Wood Badge, what it really boils down to is an intense week-long leadership course. And it's awesome. It's awesome. Goes through things, like conflict management, conflict resolution, problem solving, goal setting skills, leadership qualities, all sorts of great classes and little things that they do, but it's in kind of this fun environment. But one of the things that I learned there was they teach you a very simple exercise. They call it a start, stop, and continue. Basically what it is it's a little self-evaluation. You can do it at work. If you have a team of people that you work with, if you can do it as a family, you can do it as a couple. But basically what you're doing is you're just taking a quick assessment of, what do we need to continue doing that we've been doing that's great, or that I've been doing, if you're doing a self-assessment. What have you been, what do I need to stop doing? Well, I've been flubbing up on my diet a little bit. I went to McDonald's and Taco Bell, so I got to stop going to fast food. What do I need to continue doing? Well, I've been doing a 30-day walk every day, and I've been doing that really, really well. And I need to continue doing that. What do I need to start doing? So it's a start, stop, continue, right? Very, very simple. You can all remember that. It's just another little tool in your toolbox to help you kind of always reassess the plan of what you're doing. So that way, if the grand plan that you start doing starts feeling overwhelming, or you feel like you're slipping, or if you really start slipping and you start feeling like you're failing, you can do a little start, stop, and continue on yourself, and kind of modify the plan and get yourself back into trust mode, where you're being truthful with yourself, you're hitting the action items that you say you're going to do, you start rebuilding that trust in yourself, and then you can go back to adding. I learned another great little leadership skill. It's teaching somebody something. They call it the EDGE method. You may have heard this before. Basically, let's say I wanted to teach you how to tie your shoe, right? And it could be something, you could apply this in your life at work or wherever you want to apply it to. But, the acronym is EDGE. It's explain, demonstrate, guide, and enable. So the first thing you do is I'm going to show you how to tie the shoe. You cross the foot, you're explaining how to tie your shoe or how to tie that square knot or something like that. And then I'm going to demonstrate it. I'm going right over left, left over right. Here's a square knot, right? And then you're going to guide you. And I'm going to give you the rope and I'm going to walk you through it. And you're going to tie the square knot, right? Okay, great. And now you should be enabled to do it on your own. Well, what happens in this method that they teach is, in reality, it's never that easy. Now, if it's a square knot, really, I might be able to show you once and you'll be enabled. You can do it the rest of your life, right? But in other things, like let's apply it to diets, or weight loss. Or let's say you're training someone new at work and you're teaching them a skill or their job position. What really happens is you explain things, you demonstrate things, you guide them through it, and maybe they get it for a minute, and then you have to go back and you have to demonstrate it again, and then you guide them through it again. And sometimes you got to go back and you have to explain it. And it becomes this going back and forth between explain, demonstrate, guide, explain, guide, whatever, until they get to the point where they're enabled. And that's exactly what we're talking about here today. It's like if you have a grand plan and it starts to feel overwhelming, you'll see it exactly what I'm doing. And now when you see me make adjustments in the future, you'll kind of know my mindset, where I'm coming from. Because it's like, I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but then 4 and 3 start becoming difficult. So I scale it back to, 1, 2, 5. And I take out 4 and 3 for a minute. And then when I feel good with, I'm doing really well, then I add in 3. Now I'm doing really good with 4 of those things. I add 4 back in. And now I'm doing all 5 again, right? Does that make sense? Because I think, and what you're doing is you're just constantly taking steps of progress towards the greater plan. There's nothing wrong with having a big plan. But if it gets to be hard to execute on a day-to-day basis, then you pull back, you regroup, you recalibrate, and you start a little bit smaller. Does that make sense? If I'm still going, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. Is the audio still synced? Let me know, or is it way off? So let me ask you guys, maybe you can in sync. Good, thanks, Nate. If you're, how are things going for you? Are you hitting all the points in your plan, or do you feel like you need to simplify before you expand again? Leave a comment. While you're thinking about that and doing that, I think consistency, we've said it a million times. You guys have said it a million times in the comments. I've said it in the videos. Consistency, I think, is the most important thing. You pose a question like, is 30 minutes of walking enough? And you get the extremes. You get someone who says, walking is bullcrap. I've got all sorts of documentation and scientific proof that walking doesn't exist. You get people that are like that, and then you get someone who's like, I lost 130 pounds walking every day. Right? I still think that ultimately the right answer is the truth. I can talk I talk myself in circles all the time, and the simple truth always ends up coming out at the end. but that is the simplest plan designed of the correct actions executed daily will equal massive results. Way more than a poorly executed extreme plan, right?
Uh-huh.
Shut up, Siri. That freaked me out. Did you guys hear that? Oh my gosh. Woo. I was just talking to you guys, and all of a sudden, I heard a voice. It said, uh-huh. And it was my dumb little Apple HomePod sitting over there. Thought there was like somebody else in the room or something going on. Anyway, Nathan, yeah, you are walking proof, man. You are proof. They're walking works. Amy, welcome to the stream. Currently plateaued. So my only advice for a plateau, and I'm going through it right now, same as you, but I've done this before, so I kind of have some, a little bit of background there. Just change something up. If you plateaued, either if you're walking like 4 miles a day, 4 or 5 miles a day, either throw something else in. Maybe try some sprints, or get a little bit stricter with your diet. Track your calories for a week or two and get your calories down so you're in a deficit. All you got to do is really, if you get stuck, and sometimes your body just holds on and then it just decides to let go. I know for me, one thing I've really noticed is I'm pretty solid. I can lose 2 pounds a week pretty easy. If I've plateaued and I do something extreme like a 7-day carnivore reset, maybe I'll drop like another 5 or 6 pounds if I'm really super strict with it for a week or so. But I know like back when I was doing more like body for lifestyle, I could literally track it with the calendar. I mean, it was so, I would lose 2 pounds. Sunday I would have a free day, so I'd eat whatever I want. And I'd eat ice cream and pizza and, some garbage. And then the next day I would have gained a little bit of weight. And by Wednesday, I took off my free day weight. And by Saturday night again, I was down another 2 pounds. And it was like clockwork, But if I ever got stuck, if I ever did get stuck, I would just track for a few days, a week, whatever. And then you can kind of see, okay, oh, I thought I was doing well, but I'm actually over my calories. I'm not in a deficit or whatever. So, yeah. Because the bottom line is, at the end of the day, it's basically, a 3,500 calorie deficit equals a pound of fat loss. So, and if you're gaining muscle, sometimes people say, oh, the muscle weighs more than fat, which is true. But if you're in the beginning stages like me, I'm not putting on muscle. So if I'm gaining weight, it's because I ate a cheeseburger or something, you know what I mean? So anyway, I gave you a little bit of a challenge. Now, we're only half an hour in. I'm through my bullet points. What? Great. We gotta wing it. All right, here we go. We're winging it. So here's what I'm gonna need from you. I'm gonna need you to participate. Ask a question. Give me a topic, something I can kind of go on, and we're gonna keep going. I like to make it an hour. But we're 33 minutes in, so this is time for my shameless plug number 2. If you'd like to donate to the channel, feel free to extend a helping hand with the super chat, and all proceeds will go to buy better camera equipment and microphones and lighting and crap like that to make the stuff better. So, appreciate everyone who donates. It really is. It's awesome when you guys do that, so I appreciate it. While you guys are thinking about it, I'm broke. Then don't send me any money. But you can like a video, you can watch videos, you can do other things to support the channel and participate and be here. So I appreciate you doing that. So, anyone have another topic? You got a question? Weight loss or this like? Have you noticed I'm starting slowly to redo the channel. I don't know if you guys ever if you just watch the videos as they pop up, or if you actually like ever go to the channel and like pay attention to any of that kind of stuff. But um, thank you, appreciate it. But I am changing the channel. I just finished updating the Story Time with Dude playlist. And I think I just created a logo tonight for the new show, Smoking with Dude. And so I'll do, some sort of a barbecue, smoking, outdoor cooking video that's just really focused on that. And I'll put it in that show, Smoking with Dude. Maybe like once a week or so. I don't know. I mean, usually that's Saturdays when I have the time to more like do something like that. On Mondays, on weigh-in day, I think what I'm going to do is do what I did this week. It takes me a little bit longer to post, which I don't like because then it doesn't get up till, if I don't post till like 8 o'clock my time, then it sucks because it's like, like 10 o'clock Eastern time, which is just, that sucks. Most of you old people are in bed by then. Now, I know I'm not, but, I'm not old. I'm only 54. My kids think I'm ancient. So, so I'm going to do the grilling video, and I'm going to put those in a list called Smoking with Dude. Right now, it's in a playlist called Smoking on the Searwood, I think. But I'm going to turn it over into a show called Smoking with Dude. All a show means, I think, is that you can have a little bit of a graphic on there, like a logo or something, and then it also gives the audience the ability to hit continue watching and continue a video that they started watching. So it makes it feel a little bit more like, Hulu or Netflix or something like that. Anyway, and then we've got the UNSTUCK, which is the weight loss series, and then the live streams. So live streams are on every Wednesday night, and the point here is to give me a chance to do a little bit more of a teaching or kind of pontificating on a certain topic, answer questions, things like that. And then also, Monday, back to Monday. Monday will be weigh-in day. So I'll do the quick weigh-in, and I'll probably have that segment be called Dinner with Dude and do what I did last week, which is I'll just like make dinner while I talk. So kind of like a walk and talk. It's just a cook and talk. Share my thoughts of the day while I cook dinner. I'm doing it anyway, right? Might as well film it. So anyway, that's kind of that. And then Tuesdays, I think I'm kind of trying to come up with kind of a schedule so that I can have some sanity in knowing what I'm doing. So I think Monday is like a weigh-in day and a cooking with Dude or dinner with Dude. Tuesday is more of just a walk and talk, like pick a subject and talk about it. If I could walk outside, that'd be good. And then Wednesday's live stream. Thursday is a story time with Dude. Those are just basically stories from my life, for my kids. Then we get into a gray area. Friday and Saturdays suck. Fridays and Saturdays are probably like the worst watch days because everybody goes out on Friday night. Everyone starts to travel. They're not just home watching stuff. So Friday is just more of like a regular day, talking about the journey, sharing what I'm going through or what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, maybe even like a vlog or something like that if I'm having a barbecue with the kids or something like that, you know what I mean? So now, Nathan, you gotta stop. Don't mess with my head while I'm trying to talk. I'll be out. Barbecue meat day with Dude. Yeah, meat day with Dude. I like it. I'll probably do those longer smoking videos on Saturday, and I'll just post them when I get them edited. But they'll go in that playlist. Anyway, so that's kind of what I've been doing with the channel. So I've been kind of not rebranding, I'm just kind of retitling, repackaging videos. We've been doing this every day since March 3rd, so we've got, I don't even know where we're at now, but it's like 140 videos or something like that. Pamela watches the workout, or while you work out in the mornings. Sweet. Yeah, I know. I had a guy from Australia. He's like, I turn you on and listen to you every night on the way home from work. I'm like, that's nuts. I just think it's sweet though, it's cool that you guys take time out of your day to tune in to my day, right? I just think that's cool. That's the cool thing. I mean, there's good and bad that comes with the internet. There's definitely good and bad that comes with kind of sharing your story and putting your personal life out there. But there's something pretty sweet about some of the connections that we make on a small channel like this. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know Adam tells me all the time he goes on a daily walk, so he's doing a 30 to 40 minute walk every day. And the other day he sent me a message and he said, "Can you start making your videos 36 minutes long? Because that's about how long my walk is." I'm like, I don't think I can do that. I run out of things to say in about 10 minutes, you know what I mean? So, anyway, but I think it's cool. I think it's really cool that you guys tune in, that you're very supportive. Some of you financially supportive, some of you just support with your watch time, with whatever. Have you ever done a DEXA scan? Wait, let me go back to that question. Sorry, I skipped a question. Did you ever do, it just went away. Oh, did I ever do anything, okay. Did I do a DEXA scan or anything before you started this, Roscoe? Answer your question. I did not do a DEXA scan. I have done one in the past. I didn't do it this time. I didn't really feel the need. What I did do was I documented in 3 different ways. My weight, so the scale's one way. Pictures. I take pictures front, side, back, clothes on, and then that's usually what I put on YouTube. And then I do have a set of those pictures in just my trunks. You know what I mean? Shirt off. I may show you those at some point. I find that when the after pictures start to look good, you don't really care about what the before picture looked like. The before picture can look like absolute horrid, you know. But once the after picture gets to a certain point, you go, oh, I'm making enough progress. I'm actually proud of this. And then I don't mind showing it. But right now, I'm still a little embarrassed. You know, I'm still the guy. I don't really enjoy going to the pool or the beach. I mean, I like sitting at the beach. I like listening to the waves, but it's not fun in the sense of like, I don't love to rip my shirt off and go out swimming. I'm not embarrassed. Like, I will do that. I'll go to the pool. I'll go hot tub. I'll go to the beach. I'll take off my shirt, but it's just not enjoyable. I just want to get to the place where it's enjoyable. You know what I mean? And I'm proud. I'm really happy. Not proud, because I'm proud right now, but I mean, I'm happy with the way I look. Does that make sense? So pictures. Oh, measurements is the third one, Roscoe, if you're still around. So yeah, I took all my measurements and I take pictures and measurements every 30 days, put them on here for you guys to see. And, this last time I didn't take measurements, so I was in a hurry. I whipped out the pictures, got those online, and I have a journal where I keep all the measurements. I gained weight. So I'm like, I don't really care about the measurements. I'll take them again on my next one, which is what, 150 days? It's gonna be 5 months. Oh, that seems too long. So I should be making better. Oh, and I still need to, Margaret, how you doing? Welcome, glad you could be here. I have those old, I've had people ask about the old transformation pictures. I have those. I used to have them like on my phone, but like, like with an iPhone, you sync to like your iPhoto library, things get deleted. It's not very friendly. It doesn't like to keep what you want to keep. You have to kind of manually do it. So, I used to have them on my phone. They're on a hard drive. I know I have them. I'll find them because it's pretty cool to see like what's possible when you're really dialed in, and that was 18 weeks and it was impressive. It was good. So I'd like to share those. It's a good motivator for me too, to kind of remember, hey, like you can do this. Your body will conform when you do the right things. Anyway, any other questions? I know, what are you guys struggling with? Give me something that you're struggling with. Maybe I got some a nugget of wisdom for you. And don't lie to me. I know you're struggling with something because everyone struggles, right? So what is it? You got to struggle with your weight loss journey? That is not water. What are you dealing with right now? There's a few of you online, so all right, losing the same 5 pounds over and over. That's good because I'm losing the same 50 pounds over and over. So I'm jealous. But no, that's what we're talking about right now. That's what this whole video is about. And this video is for you, losing the same 5 pounds over and over. If the plan seems to be becoming too big, so you slip in some area or the other, dial it back, keep simple promises that you can keep to yourself. You'll lose the 5 pounds again, then add something and then expand, and then the biggest thing is keep being, this sounds so lame, but true to yourself. Keep being honest with yourself, keep the promises and commitments that you made to yourself, and that helps you be more self-confident, helps kind of clear your conscience, and I think that makes it easier to not slip. Next question. Got a few right there in a row. I don't know if they're all snacking too much. Pamela, I am a professional snacker. So I would say my advice to you would be just stop. Just kidding. That's easy to say, right? But maybe change the snack. For me, I did intermittent fasting, so that keeps me from going to fast food during Monday through Friday during lunches, because intermittent fasting makes it easy because all I have to worry about is dinner. But I am a snacker. Like, I got really fat, eating Cadbury eggs and chips and salsa and cheese dips and salty snacks and crackers and Cheez-Its and all sorts of garbage that I like to just graze on while I'm like watching TV or doing something. So for me, change the snack. I started eating like a pickle. Sounds so dumb. But I would literally, I'd go like take a swig of pickle juice and I'd get a pickle. And about the time that I'd crave chips or something like that, I would eat a pickle. It's a pickle. It's not gonna hurt you, right? You're not gonna get fat off a pickle. So I just changed the snack, and then doing a ketogenic diet, what I'm doing, the cravings go away. As you become fat adapted, you get enough fat in your system, actually the craving for carbs go away. So that helped me a lot. But yeah, just change the snack. Do something, pick something healthy, but that you might enjoy eating, and at the same time every night, have that. And then go brush your teeth. Because once you brush your teeth, you don't want to eat. So Adam says traveling and staying close to the plan is hard. Yes, it is. Adam, that is hard, man. Traveling, I travel a lot. We go up north to see the kids. We go south to we go north to the kids, south to Disneyland, and so it's hard. You kind of have to have a plan. And if you're traveling for work, which I know, Adam, I know you are, and you're on the road quite a bit, it does make it hard. I had this friend, Chris Winters. He did transformation with me back in the day, and I followed him for a lot. And the guy got ripped. He was just a picture of health. And he would go and he was doing like a ketogenic diet, and he would go and he'd eat like a can of tuna fish and a can of olives and some kimchi and whatever. And he would literally go to the grocery store and buy it's not even like a meal. He would just buy like food items that fit within his dietary restraints of what he set for himself, and he would eat those things. And that's hard to do too, because we're so ingrained of, we got to have 3 meals a day, a breakfast, lunch, and a dinner, and it's got to be balanced with the protein, carb, and a veggie or whatever. So, if you pick some sort of another diet, it's hard, but you got to kind of have a plan and stick to it. Amy asked, where's the best place to start? Well, number one, you need a plan. So my advice would be, you need to take a self-assessment and figure out where you're at. Where are you really at today? Because where you're at today is different from me, where I'm at today, and different from Nathan here and from everybody else. So taking a quick self-assessment and going, okay, here's where I'm at, and then where you have to identify where you are now, and you have to be brutally honest with yourself. Where are you now? Where do you want to go? Those are the first two things, you know. And then you've got to decide, okay, what do I want to do? What kind of a diet do you want to do? I'm not here to tell you what to do, but you can do a whole food balanced nutrition plan. You could track your macros, you could track your calories, you could do a ketogenic diet, you could do a carnivore diet, you could do a vegan diet, like whatever you want, but you have to decide nutritionally where you want to be. And then exercise, you got to start somewhere. For me right now, I kind of reset. I'm doing a 30-minute walk every day. Great place to start. Just start building the habit of getting out there and doing something and being honest with yourself and hitting your daily action items. So that's probably one of the best things I could tell you. Diet, exercise, and then we can expand from there. You can get other goals. Start looking at lower level habits that you have. Start trying to increase action items and to really start dialing in your life. Rick says he's struggling with eating less food when going out to eat. Yeah, portion control, man, that's hard. I learned a long time ago, the proper portion for a protein is about the size of your palm of your hand. That gives you about 4 to 6 ounces of protein. So if it's like a steak, right? If it's a chicken breast, a salmon fillet, about the size of the palm of your hand, clenched fist for a carb. If you're eating like a complex carbohydrate, or if you want to eat something like a baked potato or rice or a sweet potato or something like that, the clenched fist. If you go with those kind of portions, the hard thing is when you go out and you want to not eat the appetizers. If I get an appetizer nowadays, what I do, I just get the chicken wings because I'm just getting a protein, and if I'm going out to dinner and there's some barbecue sauce or something on there, I don't really freak out about that. I just eat it. So, but yeah, you got to watch your portions. And if you're going somewhere like Texas Roadhouse, let's say, man, put down the rolls, right? But again, depending on what your dietary goals are, you just kind of find what works in there and then just kind of set your rules and do your best to follow them. Nathan says booze. Not alcoholic level. Good. But I went from heavy to none. So recently slipped in a few here and there. Okay, that's the same thing, right? Say whether you're talking about smoking, cigarettes, weed, tobacco, chewing, booze. Dude, it's the same for Diet Coke or Coke Zero or for, I'd say even like carby snacks. They're all addictive. Now, I get it. Some addictions are worse than others, right? And if some guy becomes a full-blown alcoholic, man, that could ruin your life. So Nathan, number one, I'd say, maybe you need to identify your value system and your moral code and go, hey, why do I not want to drink? If I want to get rid of it, some people they drink casually and it's not a problem for them, right? But maybe it's more of a, what's the bigger reason for not drinking? Maybe, I don't know you, but maybe when you drink to excess, you get belligerently drunk and you're a horrible person to be around, right? So if that action causes that behavior in you, then you need to go back and kind of reset and go, morally, ethically, that's not how I want to present myself to the world. So I want to present the best possible version of myself to the world. So therefore, boom, I want to eliminate the alcohol. I don't like the way it makes me feel. Maybe I'm hungover in the morning, whatever, but you identify the things that are the painful side of that. And then you got to do the, what if I do, what if I don't, what if I stay true to my word? How am I going to feel? I'm going to feel like I'm being honest with myself. I'm going to feel good. I'm going to feel healthy. I'm going to feel lighter. I'm going to feel in control of my life. And then find a substitute. When you want to drink, go on another walk. You know what I mean? Find something to replace it with that's maybe more worthy of your time. That would be my advice. Grazing, saying hi to the fridge, and opening the door. Dude, I feel you, man. I'm like, I walk by the fridge. What'd you say? Oh, there's something tasty in there? Well, it wouldn't hurt just to have a little peek, would it? Right? Cadbury eggs, what the F, dude? Yeah, those little freaking, Easter time chocolate-coated eggs. Oh, my land, dude. Those are like heaven. but I've not had any in months. I'm good. I'm good. Sharon says I have enough problem getting in protein. You know, I don't know if what you're trying to do. I've heard people say, you know, eat 1 gram of protein for the body weight that you desire. There's all sorts of little things people say, but yeah. Start with protein in the morning. Start with a couple of nice chicken breasts for breakfast. If you're eating breakfast, try Oinkos and shakes. 30 grams of protein. Yeah, good one, John. You can get a lot of protein in like Greek yogurt and Oinkos and little protein shakes, things like that. Nathan said, no, I quit drinking just to lose weight during the last plateau. Nate, forget everything I said, dude. Go back to the booze. G-Man, I chew Copenhagen. I think I'd eat a lot more if I quit. Yeah, I think tobacco does kind of curb that, doesn't it? Curb the appetite. It's not easy, man. Being like, you know, my biggest vice right now is Coke Zero. So I don't know, you know, but it's still hard, man. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're addicted to. You know, if you got something that's calling your name, it's hard to turn it off. It's hard to turn it off. And yeah, smoking does kind of keep you thinner, I think, you know, but you guys can do it. I believe in you. You can do it. So I think it's good to take those self-assessments and say, you know what are my lowest level habit? Pepsi Cherry Zeros. Oh my gosh, dude. Okay. So I gotta tell you the truth. Cherry Coke Zero is my favorite. Not Coke Zero. I really like Cherry Coke Zero, but the gas station by me took it out of their machine, so now I just been drinking Coke Zero. So yeah, it's hard though, and I've quit drinking even caffeine altogether. Like no coffee, no soda, no nothing. I mean, I've quit several times, dude. I think I went a year once without soda, and I tried. I had another, and I had like a Diet Coke, and I was like, this tastes like crap. I better try another one. Tasted, you know, and by the time you're like 2 or 3 in, you're like, oh my gosh, this is delicious. This is the zest of life. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? Yes, Disney still has turkey legs. But dude, I'm not a fan. Man, you're walking around, dude, people are gnawing on those things. And hey, I appreciate the carnivore aspect of it, but oh, they just stink. You know, they just don't smell that good. And yeah, I'd rather eat a lot of other things at Disneyland besides a turkey leg. But the churros and the sweet stuff's not really my thing too much either. So guys, we're coming to an end. We've made it to another live stream. I hope you got something out of this one. If your plans are too big and they feel overwhelming and it's causing you to sputter or want to spiral or to quit, scale back, take a step back, simplify, and then execute that plan daily so that you can start building a level of trust with yourself that you're going to be honest and go forward with the things you say you're going to do. One last shout out for me. If you want to donate to the channel, feel free to donate a super chat. You can do super thanks on the videos. You can do super chats on the live. And I get a portion of that. I don't get all of it. I get a portion of it, and every little penny that I get goes towards the channel and equipment. My number one goal is to $500. When I get to $500, I'm going to cash out. I haven't even set up my bank account to my YouTube and AdSense yet. Off the AdSense, those little ads that play on the videos, I make about $1.50 a day right now. So, woo! I figure I'm making about 35 cents an hour. Don't quit your day job. But I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you tuning in. At the bare minimum, give me the watch time, watch the full videos, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment on the video, participate in the conversation, take an investment into your own health. Become the best possible version of yourself that you can become. We're here. We're doing it together. I'm not quitting. I will not quit. I may have hard days, but I'm not going to give up. So until next week's live, we'll see you tomorrow in the comments. Dude, out. Thank you, guys.